Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of Naked with Angie podcast. And today we're getting naked with Celestina, a
Hi.
free spirit, a free spirit, a mermaid, interior stylist, and a dog mom. Hi, Celestina.
Hi. I'm happy to be here. This is so fun. Also, I really miss you.
Oh, I miss you too. So, Celestina and I met in Manila,
yeah, and
right?
Poblacion.
Poblacion, in the infamous Poblacion. So
Party time.
y- yeah, not none of that lately.
Me neither. It's more party time in my dreams.
Mm, yeah. So can you tell us more about yourself? Like, where you from? What do you do?
Okay.
Introduce yourself,
Yeah.
please.
My name is Celestina. I am from Baguio City. So it's basically the mountainside of the Philippines up north in the Cordillera region. And it gets really nice and cold because it's high altitude. Um, Nothing like Tagaytay. um, it gets really cold. So like yesterday, it was its coldest at 11.4 Celsius, which is like so nice, so cozy. So yeah, I'm from there. I own a restaurant over there called Cafe by the Ruins. All homemade stuff, all homemade good stuff. And
I can vouch for the goodness of the stuff because it's very delicious. I've been to a restaurant and it's just like,
oh, I
so
know
good.
my partners and I, we always have like sometimes we have really really bad cravings. Like we can make it ourselves, but then it's always so different when it's made in the restaurant. It's like anyway, yeah. And then I have moved around a lot. I left my family house in 2012, um, moved still within Baguio, and then moved around Baguio, finding a good apartment and everything. So moving has been a major part of my life. So I never stopped moving. I moved 2012 within Baguio until I moved to Manila 2016, and then I moved to um, back to Baguio again 2017, and then back to Manila 2018, and then within Manila again 2018 to 2020, and then moved back to Baguio in 2020 during the pandemic, and then mid 2021 I moved to La Union, which is where I am. And
Ooh.
it's my dream. Well, it's my dream to live by the beach. Um, my dream was to live in Boracay, apparently, according to my Facebook memories. So apparently, 9 years ago, I said I wanted to move to Boracay and marry a mestizo guy. Well,
Ooh.
I moved to La Union, so that's it, and no mestizo guy. But
Only
that's fine.
what, three dogs and a cat?
Yeah, that's a lot of. They're actually all basically blondies and white haired, so mestizo enough. Yeah. So that's my journey.
So how's beach life now? So you've kind of pursued your dream, and how do you feel about that? How does it feel
So
living by the beach?
it was a struggle at first because December 2020 I started working online with my old job that I was working in Manila. Um, it was a captioning service where we would caption calls from in the States. So, you know how Instagram has these auto caption things?
Mhm.
Basically, that, but with humans. And then it's like me calling you, and then my captions would show on your screen. So that was our job, and I felt really secure with it. So I was like, hey, this is a online thing. Why don't I just move to the beach and do it there? I just need good internet. That's all I need. I have my laptop already. I have, you know, my headset and all of that. So I was like, I did it. I decided in March. Well, like I decided last beginning of 2020 when the pandemic started. I was like, I hated everything in Manila because of the pandemic. We were stuck in closed quarters. It was just really overwhelming, and the job that I had was just too much because it was too much. Like I had to do the deliveries and taking orders. It was so overwhelming that I had a mini breakdown and I was on the floor for 2 hours because I just couldn't. Everything was like flowing on me or like pounding me.
Mm.
Ooh.
No.
I choked.
Yeehaw.
But yeah,
I
badly.
remember
Yeah.
I remember even before the pandemic, your job was super stressful, and I was just, I admired you for still doing everything. And that was a lot. I don't think I could handle so much pressure and stress and so many responsibilities that you had, which I think were a lot more than should have been.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I realized. So in context, I was working for a restaurant in Manila, and it was an old restaurant. Pizza wants to say hello. You can hear her. There's a smile.
Yeah, I can see her little nose.
Um,
Hi, pizza. Hi, pizza.
and so yeah, it was a old restaurant that I basically brought
Raised from the
from,
ground.
yeah. So it was built in 1970s, and then the systems kind of stayed behind in the 90s, and
Oh.
it never evolved from there. So everything was in ledgers and no computerized documents. It was all in paper. So I had to input everything and then create a system out of that was updated to 2021. And then we moved from Pasay Road in Makati to BGC, all right before the pandemic and then during the pandemic. So yeah, it was a whirlwind of chaos. And yeah, what
But
was I saying?
but that's isn't that um your kind of line of work or your major? Did you study
Yes.
hospitality in university, or was it because it had a family restaurant business,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Did you
So the
study that as
cafe.
well?
Yeah. So I was born into the restaurant industry. So I decided to study it after my mom passed away because she was managing the cafe and I wanted to take her place. Being the eldest child and being like, oh, wait, it's
Mm.
my duty. It's my duty to do this. And so I took hotel and restaurant management for 7 years because I was working at the same time. So it was
Mm.
work and school, so it was lagging. And then also, I was very unmotivated because the system in school is shit. Um, and I also knew
I
more than the
agree.
teachers. So it's very
That is
unmotivating to go to
always
school,
that is always a
right?
struggle.
So,
And you can't.
yeah. So yeah, it's my field. It's been my field for more than 10 years, which is mind blowing because I started at 17 and stuck with the cafe till I was 27. Moved to Manila when Yeah, when I was 27, 28, and that's that. Yeah.
But you said it kind of felt like your obligation that you had to overtake the family business. What was your passion? What did you always like doing?
Fashion.
Uh,
I wanted to be a fashion designer because I loved clothes and styling and shopping. um, yeah, so I was supposed to take fashion design in this really high end school in Manila called Benilde, and their fashion course just started off. So I would have been probably the first students there. But the money for that went to my mother's chemo, uh, so it didn't push through. And then I was
mm,
supposed to take fine arts in Baguio. That was my second choice. So I was really more on like the creative side, which HRM did provide with regards to like cooking and plating and designing your dishes. So that I enjoyed a lot. That's why I love cooking. Um, but the management side, I'm really good at, but it's too much. Too much. It's
I'm
like
sorry. What
managing,
is
yeah,
a HRM?
yeah, hotel and restaurant management.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's creative and stuff, but then the management side is too corporate for my tastes, and I've always liked being more laid back and not being told what to do.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah.
I've had experience managing a club. Like I was a club manager for a few months and I hated it because first like my journey was waitress and then bartender and then I went to another uh nightclub and I applied to be the manager and I just hated it because like I'm not very good at managing people. I yeah, I think it's a skill that or maybe even a talent. And I think with my problems with communicating with people, I was always like too nice and I just couldn't uh hold the position higher. I remember it was so stressful for me. There was a cleaning lady. She was like in her 50s or 60s, and the floor wasn't washed properly. And I just didn't have it in me to ask the old lady to do a
Do
proper
it.
job. I was just like, I think I did it, but just like I remember the struggle. I was just like, oh. And then yeah, I didn't like it because uh, it was like clock in, clock out, and I was done with all of the work within like 3, 4 hours. And then I had maybe like 8 more to go. And I was just like, what do I do? And then the the other shift like manager, they would just like go from a bar to a bar, drink coffee here, drink tea there, chit chat with the bartender and the waitress. And I just stayed in my office and I don't know, just like I was on social media, or I don't know, I would just like when I was done with everything and they gave me shit for staying on social media, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I can't drink so much tea or coffee and just go around the club. And when there are no guests, I mean,
Yeah.
when it was busy, of course, like I had a job to do, but then within the day hours, when it's basically just the staff, I was just like bored and I quit because I couldn't do it.
Yeah, it's like that also. And then it's funny because so Tanya is my god sister who is my partner in the cafe because our parents started it. They founded the cafe and then it was passed on to the second generation, the kids, in 2010. And she moved back to the Philippines to help me, well, to help the cafe and really put in proper professional systems that other restaurants actually do. And she was successful in that. And when I moved back to Baguio in 2017 to help the cafe rebuild after the fire, yes, there was a April 2017 fire. I moved June, and this was like I quit my job in Manila and decided to just like go back and help because again, I felt like it was my duty. Um, and then so I ended up staying, and then Tanya and I were managing it, and we were basically really kick ass, and we really set amazing service systems from employee orientation and onboarding for new employees, and then the whole first in first out, all of that. So the whole restaurant system we basically set in stone and even documented everything. But because we were very efficient, we would allow ourselves to have a day off and go to the beach. And we love taking pictures. So we had a lot of pictures and we'd post it on days where we weren't at the beach. But then we were essentially like scolded for not working at all because our posts on social media were all us at the
Oh,
beach,
wow.
even if we're in meetings and arranging stuff and fixing menus and everything. So it was just like weird.
Yeah, that's social media for you.
I know.
And
And it's like,
people, yeah, just getting the
exactly.
impression of like what you do, what you post is what you do right now at the moment.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I know.
Yeah, but you come from a pretty artistic family, right? Very creative. So what was it like growing up? And did you ever, so you have a very artistic side to you. Did you ever pursue it? I mean, even not professionally, but I don't know, in your free time?
Yeah. It was my
You're a
childhood
good
was super
painter.
fun. Ah, thank you.
I've seen your paintings. She's really good.
Thank you. Yeah. I have what's the therapy term?
Art
Um,
therapy.
no.
Oh,
In the impersonation syndrome. What's it? The one where you feel
the
like
imposter.
imposter syndrome. Yeah. So I have that
Mm.
um, with regard to art because of the whole fact that I grew up in the art scene and actual artists. I was surrounded by them and grew up with them. So it's
Mhm.
like the pressure of being a good artist. But
Mm.
yeah, I've learned that whatever you do is art. And yeah, childhood was super fun. I remember so many parties, even as a child. And it was so fun because like we were this small community where my mom's friends were all artists also, and she was just a collector and she owned a gallery, so she'd have exhibits. And when you have exhibits, you have exhibit openings, which is basically a party. So yeah, it was always fun. And then we'd have art festivals where all the kids would come together and just play around with the bonfire and roll around in the grass. So yeah, it was very, very hippie like.
I
Yeah.
remember that. I remember at your restaurant opening after the fire, right? The renovation.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was like some food tasting, if I remember right. And then there were a couple of performances, like it playing the guitar, like poetry reading, and then like the crowd seemed like or looked like a hippie scene. It was like so chill and everyone was just like dressed funny, I would say. I mean, not what
Hippie.
you what you get
Bohemian.
used to. Yeah, yeah, bohemian.
Yeah.
What is that, boho style?
Boho style. which is basically my whole aesthetic now. It passed on. Yeah. So it was a good childhood. I loved my childhood. It was very nice. What was your other question?
Oh, the how did you like pursue your artistic
Oh
side,
yeah.
or like how did you, what is your authentic self-expression ways?
Um
What are
ba- Basically just doing whatever I like on the canvas. So there's no rules for me. I hate rules. That's why I barely make art that are like that are actual images and like still life. I used to do that to learn because I studied when I was a kid, proper art, but then I veered out of that because I hated the pressure. And then I switched to just abstract, and whatever I felt, I would put it onto the canvas. It wasn't really, it was all just like fluid and unconscious. So it was
hmm.
nice.
Yeah, isn't that what art is about? It's just
Yeah,
self-expression. And yeah,
exactly.
there are so many different styles, and what you're actually describing does sound like art therapy, which is
Yeah,
very, therapeutic. And there's also like the deep unconscious subconsciousness, and it
exactly.
just like tells you so much about yourself. And yeah,
Yeah.
I've learned to love it.
You what but other than your expressive, the photographs that you have, which are so good. Um
Thank you.
it's so good. I wish I could see the underwater one though. Unless it's like not
Uh,
good. Cuz I
no, no.
remember you told me you had like your trauma and everything.
Oh, I can send you. I think I just got them edited, so I'll post them maybe next month. And that was such a struggle. That was underwater photo shoot, and I would say that I'm pretty scared of being in the water. Plus, it was, yeah, as I was telling you. Sorry, I'm just gonna quickly describe the shoot. So it was in the pool, and the pool. So I'm like 5'1" tall, inch tall, or is it 152, 55 centimeters? Did she fart?
No, her
Oh,
nose.
pizza!
She likes
Hello.
making noises.
She's cute. Hello. She wants to hear all about the nude shoots. So I was in the pool, I was in the water, and it was like higher than my height, so I couldn't reach, my feet couldn't reach the floor. So that was like I was just like holding onto the, what do you call it, side of the pool, and it was actually kind of cold. So I was very, like my body was quite frozen, as in like
Yeah.
I couldn't relax. And then what I was told to do is just exhale and then go underwater, do something beautiful, some, relaxed pose, and then just, kind of fall freely. And then when I would emerge from the surface, I had to like put my head down, exhale again, and then only after I could inhale. That's very counter survival because
Woo.
what you usually do, you like inhale, go underwater, and then go out with the water and exhale,
Yeah.
or inhale again, sorry.
Yeah.
Inhale, so like inhale, go underwater, and then get out and inhale again. So I had to do the opposite, and I was cold, like I couldn't relax, I couldn't reach the floor, and I was just like and then I also, like, it doesn't help that I don't see what's happening on the camera. Did I do a good job? So a lot of them were just like
Oh no. Oh
with the
no.
face. So maybe there are like five good pictures.
5 out of how
But
many?
I think I spent like an hour and a half in the water, and that was just that. I think I would say that was the hardest photo shoot uh, out of them all. Yeah. And I had to shoot
Crazy.
like naked in the snow. So like underwater was like definitely a
Oh my
struggle. But
god.
some of them are beautiful. I can send you some
Yeah, you should learn how to
photos.
do free diving.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very good skill. If
Yeah,
I
for underwater
if I knew.
photographs.
Yeah. But yeah, that was like so, and then the instructor, because he, or like lifeguard or something, like plus like I'm naked, right? So
Yeah.
they're like uh what, two men, one girl around, so that's a little stressful. And then like the instructor kept telling me, so you're scared, that's okay, like you should relax. I'm like, shut the fuck up, I can't reach, like the water is cold, I can't reach the floor. I mean, I didn't say it out loud, but I was so annoyed, and I just like, I wanted to say like, I'm not scared, I'm just very uncomfortable, like
Yeah.
it's deep. Like I can't reach, so I couldn't even like push from the floor and then
Yeah.
like fall, for example, right? So like kind of
Oh,
jump and then like,
yeah. Wait, was
so I
it
had
like
to do
a 8 feet tank or something?
it was a little like over, okay, so I'm 155 centimeters
Yeah.
tall, and it was maybe 165.
Oh.
It was a little bit, but I still couldn't, like keep my head on the surface of, the water
Oh.
and stand. Yeah, and I was like cold. So like, how do you relax when you're cold?
I know. You're just like,
Yeah,
you're like,
that was like right. And then like, also you're supposed to breathe like calmly, like
yeah.
it's cold.
Oh, that's so
Mm.
funny.
So what
Experiences.
what was your question about, aside from the photography? What is my way for self-expression, or so, or
Yeah. Yeah.
um I like dancing. So that's always been my, I can like dance when I'm home, so just like rock on and like play some of my favorite music and just,
Yeah, there's a huge dance community here in La Union. I'm not
Really.
I'm not into choreographed dances, which is what it is here. There's this gym called Proper, I think, up north, and
Mhm.
they have dance classes and pole dancing, hip hop, and all of that. And it looks. I love watching it. Like
Mhm.
I love watching it because I'm so fascinated with how amazing they move and stuff. And I love movement too, but I'd rather just do my own thing. I can't.
Ecstatic dance might be
Yeah,
a really good fit for you. Yeah,
yeah,
but
or
then
just in the club.
yeah. Uh Um, I feel like there are like two categories of people. The ones that can't relax and move like freely. So like ecstatic dance, for example, is really hard for them. So you're just kind of like, it's like, yeah, just intuitive movement. And then there are some people who are really good at that, and they don't like choreographed dancing. Yeah.
Yeah,
S I would say, because I did dance classes uh, for like 5 years as a child, from like six six to 12, I think. So like 6 years. I
wow.
would go to the choreographed. But even then, it was so hard for me. I mean, I had a hard time remembering the movements. So everyone already learned them, and an earthquake.
I'm sorry, pizza is going wild.
So,
Six
uh,
6 years.
yeah, so I always had a hard time remembering the choreography, so everyone could already like dance, and I had to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse to, yeah.
Aw.
But I
Yeah,
think I like the,
choreography.
like Zumba or bachata or like those, passions, like dances.
Nice.
They're cool.
Yeah, there used to be a salsa night every Thursday here in one of the resorts called Fat Wave, which they like recently renovated, and it's so nice. Oh wait, I think you've been there.
I
They have
think
the
so.
swings
Hmm.
by the bar. Yeah. They have salsa nights on Thursdays, and sometimes they do bachata, and it's just I love watching them. I'm just like, don't let me do it, but I like to watch. So it's
Mm,
like,
why not?
uh, I can't, I can't, I can't do the step forward and backward thing. I just my brain doesn't process that. I can
Oh.
just stay and then I'll move my upper body, but I'm not gonna move my feet because that throws me off. I have like two
Oh.
left
That's
feet.
that's interesting.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's so
But then
weird.
I think, I don't know, maybe it's a certain thing that's like peculiar or like special. Maybe, I don't know, there's something. But then it just, I would say it takes practice. I could never do the waltz like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and it's just like you keep doing it over and over and over, and you're like, oh wow, that's natural now. So
Yeah. Yeah, and we had a lot of it in for PE from high school to college, and I just couldn't ever
hmm,
since. And then
okay.
my friends and I would go to hip hop class in gyms in Baguio, and they would do the choreography, and I'm doing the complete opposite because I see the mirror, and then I see the instructor, and then I see my friends, and it's like,
Mm.
which one do I follow? And then, yeah,
Yeah,
there's this one time I was
maybe.
doing whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think maybe like, I don't know, one-on-one classes like with just an instructor to just get the gist of it. I think like I would say it really helped me with taekwondo, with all the techniques, because like usually in the group, there's one instructor or like one teacher, and
Yeah.
he or she doesn't pay as much attention, so you're just trying your best and you don't know if you're doing it right. But then
Yeah.
if one-on-one, it's like all the attention, so they can tell you, uh yeah, so they can help you through it. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do taekwondo too till yellow belt and gymnastics. So those two I love and boxing. So that I'm pretty good at. But even in during the boxing classes, even if it was one on one, there are still like the foot movements where I'm just like, what?
Oh no, I suck at those. The one that's like you had to turn your foot, right? So like move and then,
Yeah, and then basically just going around like being loose with your feet. I
yeah.
was really good with the upper body part, but then coordinating where to go with my feet was just bad. So there's this video of me where he's we're boxing and we're moving around the ring, and I'm just like I just, it was bad because some they're like soft on their feet boxers, they're like whoo 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 with their feet too. I was like
Mm.
that with my arms, but then my feet were just like plunk plunk plunk. It was not fluid. Yeah,
Mm. No, I
but
struggle with boxing too. Like it's taekwondo is easy for me, but boxing and just like movement, I feel like my feet are just,
yeah.
where do I step? Yeah, and then like going in the circle thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it confuses me. Ah.
Okay, so back to art. Um,
Back to arts.
I I think it was because I like painting, but I like abstract painting. I don't know any rules. I just like to just go with whatever and just see how it turns out and just have fun with it, basically. But when I discovered art therapy, it was actually quite hard for me because I remember there was like one class. So I was taking this course on body oriented psychotherapy, and it was like so many things combined. There was art therapy as well. So on the first uh, class lesson, we had to uh, draw a picture or like paint a picture of uh, to kind of like explain who I am, for example, or like my life. And I remembered I drew this picture, and it's supposedly very intuitive, or like you paint with your unconscious, the unconscious. And when I finished my painting and I showed it to the class, I was just like, basically it was a painting of a girl sitting in the lotus position, with like eyes closed, which represented me with like pink hair. And I had uh two dogs and a cat by my side. So Luna, Dude, Lucy, and there were like palm trees, and then there was like a camera set up so to represent the vlogging or like the photography side of me, and then like the sun and the waves. And I was just like, so this is me. And it was really hard, so we had to explain the picture as well. So like, this is me, like this is what it mean. I had a hard time uh explaining this picture because it was just, I think, less than a month or maybe even a couple of days after Luna uh,
Oh,
passed away.
fuck.
And I just started crying. I was like, so this is my dog. And
Oh.
then she was, yeah. So like I explained, and we had to like say why we were taking this course, or like what are we aiming to learn, or like why. So like the reason. And I remember, so when I was done, and then the teacher told me, so this is a picture, the painting that you did with your brain. When you're
Oh,
at
yeah.
home, try to,
Get
channel
out of
your
it.
inner self. Yeah, get out of it and just, I don't know, close your eyes and then just paint something that's, it can be more, because like everyone painted like, I don't know, some spirals or like some crazy
Yeah.
explosions or stuff like that, or like a forest or like something beautiful. And mine was very literal. It
Literal.
was
Yeah.
very, yes, it was like, she was right, it was from the brain. It was like, wait, I'm supposed to like describe myself, so what am I supposed to. Yeah. And everyone was just like, someone drew a hurricane or like stuff like that. And uh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you have
So
to
then,
look into yourself.
yeah, so when I got home, and I was just like, so what is like my life really like. So I painted, or like I drew this little you know uh picture, like with a little uh girl. It's like very literal. I don't know, just like a circle, like two sticks, two hands, like two sticks, two legs, and then like two girl like going up a hill with a huge backpack, just pushing a giant stone. And then there's like another person at the base of the mountain that I was like pushing that rock to, and the the little what is it, saints, or what do you call it, like in the comic books, like the cloud that the words go in,
Oh, the speech bubble.
the speech bubble. It would said, do you need help? And that was my representation of myself.
Oh.
And she's like, yeah, that's I showed it to my teacher, and she's like, yep, that's more like it.
Mm,
Still quite literal, but it's not. uh
yeah.
Mine was maybe the first one that I painted was like maybe how I would like or I'm used to people
Yeah.
seeing me, or like the representation. So like a surface picture.
Yeah. Surface picture.
Yeah, and then like with paints, I just had fun with, the close your eyes and just let your
Yeah.
subconscious
Like
guide you, or
dancing.
unconscious. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quite similar to your paintings too. They're pretty abstract. So I like them. You're like, you can make up whatever you see in them. So for
Yeah.
example, you painted something, someone else saw something else for
Yes,
him. So I
exactly.
think that's art
Yeah.
interpretation.
Yeah, because mainly when I'd paint, it was all just it's music. It's like dance for you. Like when you're at home and you turn on the music and you dance. I'm the same way, but with painting. So I have the music on and then basically dance on the canvas, and it's more emotional than it is mental.
Are you
Yeah.
mental, man?
You mental.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
So that's the fun part. But then also it takes a lot of motivation for me to bring out the canvas and paint like with exercise. It's kind of like an exercise for my brain. So then sometimes I get lazy and then I just don't. So like I haven't painted in 2 months cuz I get bored of doing the same thing over and over again because I have apparently ADHD, and it just answered all the questions I've had and the
Did you
reason
get
why I'm the
diagnosed?
way. Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
This
me
was
too.
yeah, this was beginning of
ADHD.
2021. I know, and I see your posts and like your stories about it like, and I was like I just super relate cuz like even how we're having our conversation right now. I was like I cuz I have to practice on noting my
Mm,
right the what happens. I keep forgetting like all these terms, but yeah, noting the aspects that happen when because of ADHD, and then basically just recognizing that hey, it's okay. It's
yeah.
because you have it. Yeah. Yeah, so
No,
that's what.
I think it was a major relief for me as to like, oh, so like that's what's wrong with me. Not wrong with me, but then it's just like at some point it becomes overwhelming because you don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, and you're like your brain is just going crazy. I I would say my symptoms or how it represents right now are much better, much milder than before, because I remember I would have conversation, just like a flow of speech, and then it's all over the place, and I would forget what I was just talking about, and then I would like be talking to whoever I was talking to. I was like, what did I just say? And
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. It was just like I just said it. I don't remember. And they had to remind me. I was just like, I think meditation and yoga helped a lot. Uh, I
Meditation.
even before I knew that it was ADHD, and it was just like a way of self regulation. You're a yogi too, right?
Sort of. I'm a very undisciplined yogi. So
Same.
I need to my discipline is really, I mean, my yoga mat's right there. You just have to get on. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, and yes, I do know why. Because of my ADHD. Uh, and that's why that I learned that the reason why I keep doing all these like hobbies, different hobbies, is because I can't stick to one because I either lose interest or I get bored or all of that. And it's more on reframing your discipline on it. Like my kombucha thing that I did last year, I did it and then I moved to La Union, and then it was doing really well in Baguio. It got famous really fast. And then I moved to La Union and I left all my materials there because I just put everything in my car and moved down the mountain with four animals
Oh my god.
and in my tiny car. And then that was it. I only went back once in May just to get some more stuff. But other than that, I literally dropped everything there and moved here because the life there in that house, I live with a person who doesn't recognize that they have a mental illness. So it just affects everyone around them,
Mm, that
right?
must be tough.
Yeah. My aunt, you met her
Yeah.
at yeah, at the house. And the way she looked at you guys was just like intruders.
I I don't remember. I don't remember seeing her or like meeting her. Or maybe I just don't have a recollection. But I think it was weird as okay, maybe I don't know. It's just my perspective, but to me, it was weird because I felt like we were friends, and then she wanted. We were supposed to stay at your house, and she wanted to charge us money for staying at
I
your house,
know.
and I was like, "That is so."
I know.
I just like I didn't know what to say because I was like, "That never happened to me."
I know. That that situation happened. Kimchi and stayed in my house in 2018. Tanya was still there and everything, and they stayed for maybe 3 nights, 4 days. And then when they left, my aunt like scolded me. And this, I'm in my, I was like 29, I think, and she scolded me and she was like, "Did they pay?" And I was like, "What do you mean? They're my guests in my house. Why would they pay to sleep in my house when I invited them here? That's not how
Yeah,
friendship works. Hello."
yeah,
So
yeah.
she's, ugh, I can't handle her. And then I let her know that I was moving here and everything, but she kept messaging and miscalling me, just asking me how I am every day. That I blocked her. I blocked her number from Viber messages, and just I couldn't. She was just this really with like a flea,
Mm,
just horrible, horrible. And the way she treated me, because like I moved, I took a vacation, like a 2 night vacation here in La Union in March. That was when I came to check out the place, and I wanted, a break, a little break from work and being in the house the whole time because of the pandemic and everything. And when I told her that I was going to go to La Union, she like harassed me and she was like, "Why? Who are you going to see there? What are you going to do there? Why are you going to go there?" And it's like, "What?" For vacation.
that's
and
so weird.
and then when I said for vacation, she was like, "Why? You're already at home. You don't do anything." And I was like, "I do. I work online." So it was just like, oh my god, just a horrible person. And she's been
Yeah.
like that since my mom was a baby. So
Oh. That is like so hard to live with someone and then you can't really explain them that it's not that's something wrong with you but with them, and it just like the same thing keeps happening, and the only thing I don't know, it's just like this mindset they're your relative or they're your like
yeah,
close friend or whatever, that you feel obliged to just like, oh, but they're like my um aunt or like my I don't know grandma, but they're like very toxic and you just can't do anything but just move yourself away from them, and that's the best, most healthiest way you can do for yourself and for your mental health. And that's I think comes down to just taking care of yourself and forcing yourself to get in a safer situation.
Yeah.
I've i've seen so many people, like on social media mostly, struggling with um, coming home to for Thanksgiving in the US, because like their family is super toxic, but they still want to see some of them, and they're just like they put themselves in dangerous and, like, unstable or
Triggering.
unsafe yeah, triggering
Yeah.
situation. And just like after a while it's hard
Yeah.
uh to do that and to sort of justify the decision, but that's sometimes like the best you can do. And then, for example, you don't call someone who just don't doesn't get you,
Yeah. Exactly.
and then you keep trying and trying to explain yourself, and you just really want them to see your side of the story, and you just like set your hopes up, and then they get crushed again. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, that's why I moved to the beach and finally living my dream life. I mean, it was a struggle because, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, I had an online job, but then they laid off everyone and they switched to robots because AI got better at captioning, hence the
Mm,
Instagram caption feature, um,
mm,
which basically they got the same kind of program. So they laid probably more than 1,000 employees to switch to robots. And then, so I was jobless for a while. I was living off the separation pay, is what you get when you get leave work, or they basically, what's it called, kick you out, lay you off. So I was living off of that, which was good. Um, but then it was, depleting, and I needed more jobs. So I tried other freelance jobs like writing, content creating, which I did for you, which was awesome. Um, but then it wasn't enough. So luckily, a former colleague from the same company reached out, and she's like, "Hey, do you still need a job?" Pizza. Do you still need a job? I work for this really good company from States, and it pays really well. And but then she was like, oh, but it's night shift. And then I was like, oh no, I don't think so. But then I computed how much I would make, and she said there was commission. So I was like, okay, sorry, that's my dog.
I, I
So
don't think they
yeah,
can hear, or at least
okay,
I can hear it.
okay, okay, because I can hear it in here.
Oh,
Um,
she's snoring.
yeah, she's snoring.
Yeah.
So yeah, I computed how much I would earn, and it was pretty decent, especially living here because my rent is super cheap. Um, and I decided to take it, and now I'm just super happy with it because it's just you do your work, and that's it. And then I get weekends off and U.S. holidays off, and it's
Mm,
good pay.
nice. Oh, so what do you do if it's not a secret?
It's not a secret, not like the captioning one. um, The job is basically us calling restaurants and convincing them to download our app called Seasoned Recruit, which is a recruitment app only for restaurant workers. So it's still within my field of expertise, which is restaurants. And then you get commission per download, which is awesome. And because the US is in need of employment, it's basically also helping people and helping managers and employees. So it's so
That's
cool.
nice.
I'm happy with it. And then I can get to go to the beach after and have the weekends off and have beer by the beach, which sometimes I don't do because I just end up sleeping. Yeah.
But still, I don't know. Yeah, we briefly discussed it, I think, before the podcast that you felt pressured going to the beach just because you live by the beach.
Live by the week.
Yeah. So wait, would you say now you're living your dream life? What does it consist of? Like when you're not working, what do you do?
What do I do? I think the highlight is basically sleeping. No, I'm kidding. The highlight is just I can spend the whole day at the beach. I don't even have to like be at like a beach with a resort or anything. There's this spot I have um, on the coastline where it's super. It's not exactly secluded, but tourists don't know about it. So
Mm.
it's fairly empty compared to the surf town side. You remember like how there's just so many people on the beach and in the
Mhm.
water. This one is just always so empty, and because also there's barely any resorts in the area, so not a lot of guests and tourists are there. And then there's this gorgeous ruins in the background where it's
Mhm.
like these steps, and then this gorgeous like ruins of this like porch setting. And I always like daydream that someday I'd have that lot and have a little house beachfront and have coffee overlooking that and the beach. So yeah, that's my spot, and I love it, and I can just spend like 5 hours there. That's why I have my tan line.
Yeah, nice. Lower, lower. Get
Getting
naked
naked.
with Angie and Celestina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think once we were talking about. I think I was in Bali, or you were in Manila still, or maybe in Baguio, and you said, or maybe I don't know, long time ago, you said that your dream is to live by the beach and have like a guest house or a hostel or a hotel and or maybe a restaurant. I don't remember exactly, but I remember when you said the porch and like your little land. I remember that you wanted to like purchase some property and build something there or own a hotel or something.
Like a
That's
B&B.
nice. Yeah.
B&B slash hostel,
Let's
but
do
like
it.
really really small, not not like not like big levels like Flotsam and Jetsam, where
Mm.
it accommodates more than 30 people. I wanted like more intimate and just small bookings, and like, and then I'd be cooking their food, pasta,
Ah.
sandwiches, breakfast food, and then basically making friend like a what's it called, couch surfing kind of vibe, where I get like guests that book with me from around the world, and that's it. Yeah.
That's nice.
Right.
I love places where like it's small family business and it's owned and managed by the owner and they
Yeah.
just like meet you and then they're like always sort of at the property but they're not interfering with your life but then also like you can have your breakfast there and just chat and then I don't know exchange life stories. That's just so like it's family feel like cozy vibes that you're just like so welcomed.
Yeah, that's what I love. That's because that's also how I felt when I lived when I visited Japan in 2015. It was like a month after my biggest heartbreak after a 7 year
Oh.
relationship, and then basically traveled alone, but met my mom's old friend who's just a little older than me. Um, and I was able to stay in her place with two fat cats while they went skiing up north. And it felt so like family vibe. Like, hey, you here, stay here. And, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you told me about that. It was in Osaka, right?
Yeah,
No. Yeah.
Osaka on top of their little ramen house.
Mm.
It was cute. I love Japan.
How's
Have you
your
been?
No, but I want to. I'd love to
Next.
visit. I wouldn't say it's like the top of my list like every other person says, but I would definitely visit. I'm interested in like culture and yeah.
Yeah.
It's just some places just call for you and I don't think that's Japan for me.
Yeah. But it's nice that you're in Europe and traveling around Europe now. It's
Oh, I
you.
love it. I think I would spend more time in Spain and actually
Wow.
took Spanish classes. And yeah.
Nice. How
But
long have you been
yeah.
there in Spain?
About like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I'm gonna spend 3 more weeks, and then I don't know. I think my visa only allows me to stay probably until like mid-January.
Wow.
I don't know. So yeah, I was. I mean, like I was waiting for the Philippines to open, and they open. I think from like the latest news from the 1st to 15th December. But you have to be vaccinated, which I'm not, and you have to enter from a green list country that you spent
Mm.
2 weeks prior
Yeah.
in, and that's not Spain.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay.
And then the list is like weird. They have like some African countries, some weird islands, and I don't know. There's so many, so little countries that I know of,
Oh my
and that I can
god.
actually enter from. It's weird. Like the list is weird, but
Yeah.
China is on it, which is I'm like okay,
Okay. That's well.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah. So I
my
don't know.
god.
Like I don't know what I'm gonna do after uh my rent kind of
Yeah.
ends. So I don't know. I miss the tropics, so maybe some warmer country that I possibly can enter later if the
Yeah.
Philippines will open again. Get vaccinated as well.
What other tropical country would you go to?
So um, Bali is always an option.
Other
It's
than
like
Bali.
quite quite comfortable. I think Thailand. I would go
Ah,
to Thailand. Uh, I don't know, not a tropical country, but also I think warmer than at least in Spain is Mexico. Uh, yeah, and then it doesn't require vaccination.
oh, okay.
But yeah, so I don't know. Still not so sure. It's
Yeah.
still in the in the works. Haven't made a decision.
How does it feel though traveling in during a pandemic? Like
It's
how
nice.
what?
It's nice.
Because there's less people?
Oh, you mean I thought you were asking like how does it feel? I mean, it feels I don't know, it's gonna sound bad, but I wouldn't say like the pandemic affected me as much, I guess,
Yeah.
as other people because I would still travel, I would still see some places just because I was in places that were less restricted. But that was super nice, and I don't know, I'd probably go insane locked up in a house or in an apartment without uh, being able to go anywhere. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, so that was nice. It's not as free, but then you also uh, where was that? I think it was in Bali in the middle of the pandemic when I went to Nusa Penida and there
Mm-hmm.
weren't many people. So like all the tourist spots don't have many tourists, which is nice. And I think, yeah, prior to the pandemic, it was just like you stand in line to just see, I don't know, a church or a building or like some
Yeah.
site. Mm, yeah, so I think it's like how's La Union? I remember it was like super crowded.
It feels Well, beginning of 2021, so March and May when I moved here, it felt less restricted than Baguio. And also because I felt like the space was bigger, and then I'd be at a beach where there weren't a lot of people, so it's nice not having your mask on. Um, but then in the tourist spot areas where there are restaurants and stuff, um, I get paranoid when there are people without masks, which is the trauma in from the pandemic, living in Manila in a congested place where everything was just within four walls, even in the restaurant. And you just always had to wear your mask and
Yeah.
the
Make,
stupid face shield. Um,
yeah, I
yeah,
think it makes you feel a little paranoid. I remember I was coming from, like, it was not very restricted in Bali, but we still had to wear masks and sanitize our hands. And then when I went to Russia, and I would just like, people would pull their masks down in like public places, and that was like super stressful for me. But then
yeah,
I kind of like got used to it, and I started doing the same thing, like everyone's doing it. And yeah. And then it kind of like, it's the mindset that's hard to switch, and then you go to something that's like super restricted and everyone's wearing masks, and you're like, you get a little annoyed.
yeah,
It's like, it depends on the place. Like, uh so Budapest was kind of like super free,
yeah,
as in like, you had to wear oh no, actually, you only had to wear a mask in the hospital and in the airport, and then
yeah.
that's it. You don't have to, because I think 70% of the population is vaccinated, so they
Wow.
stopped the mask regime, or what is it called. And then Porto was a little more restricted. You had to wear masks like in the supermarket, and same in Spain. So like
Okay.
outside, not so much, but then supermarkets. Like I went to a hairdressers and I had to wear a mask. So yeah,
Yeah.
the depends
Yeah, I haven't been
on
to
the
a
country.
parlor in over a year. The last time was in Manila. Um, and that was the last time. So I was able to grow my hair
It
finally.
looks so nice, so like curly and
It's
stuff.
still taking forever to grow.
Mm.
Because it was super short, like pixie cut in 2015, and I just kept growing it from there. So that's as much as it goes. That's what, 6 years?
I
Yeah.
think when we met, I had like this haircut, I think, or maybe like I chopped it,
Yeah, yours was short like
and
this.
yeah, yeah,
And
like
then mine was
20,
just like
what,
this.
19, I think, like I chopped it, and then I barely cut it. I mean, like I do it every,
Mine was like here, and it only grew this much.
but if you straighten it, it's gonna be longer, no?
A little bit, not really there.
Mm. Yeah.
So it just grew like 5 inches in like
Mm.
3 years. Uh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So the mask wearing here isn't as crazy. Like I think you still have to wear it in supermarkets. Um, but yeah, it still feels weird when I'm in a congested space like a restaurant and people aren't wearing masks. Um, and I know that the trauma hit me in my mind really hard because when I'm watching movies or TV shows and they're not wearing masks, it feels weird. It's like
Yeah.
something's wrong.
What
But
are you
then it's like,
doing?
wait, this is before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. And I think it's the same mindset or the same trauma it depends on the country again. And I was like so stressed when I got back to Russia, but then after a while, where everyone is doing the same and it feels safe, and you get used to it, so you like loosen up and you're like, okay, this is okay. But yeah, you still have to be careful. I just I I kind of felt like uh, because I had COVID. Well, now almost a year ago, but I was like, okay, I have antibodies because I did a test in March or April, and I still had that. And my best friend got sick in June, and like I was supposed to like get sick too because like we spent a lot of time together and I didn't. So I was like, oh, I still had antibodies for 6 months after I got sick. So I was just like, that gave me confidence. And yeah,
It's good. Yeah. So
like that.
yeah, that's what happens when you have COVID or anything um, virus related, where you really build your body really builds that immunity towards it. And that's basically what the vaccine does, right? Is
But
that
you got
if you never had
vaccinated,
it?
right?
Yeah, because I have never had COVID, luckily, because I have asthma and all these
Oh,
other
underlying
illnesses.
condition. Mm.
Yeah. So I made sure I got the vaccine, but I do need to go back and get a booster shot, my third shot,
Mm.
soon. It's just hard to travel because my car isn't in top shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you told me. So how is dating scene in La Union?
Oh my god.
I'm curious. How is
Well,
it like?
I'm not dating at all. Um I don't see anyone here in person or online. So I stopped using Tinder and Bumble and all of that for almost a year, I think, or 2 years. When I moved to Baguio, I tried it, but there's nothing. So I stopped since I was in Baguio. So that was September 2020. And then I tried it here, but there's also nothing. Uh, I'm super dateless. I'm basically a virgin. I have nothing. I mean, I'm also not interested in making new friends.
Mm.
That's my thing now. It's that it exhausts me to talk to
Mm.
people that don't know me, and then just I don't know. It I just don't. So I barely go out to social events because it's just exhausting already to me. I'd rather do my own thing, you know? I'd rather explore different parts of La Union on my own. Um, and yeah, that's basically my life.
Wait,
I'm
you still made some friends. You
yeah,
you
my
said, or
neighbors.
oh yeah.
I have two neighbors. Well, one of them's back in Manila for the holidays, but the neighbor right beside me, PJ, and her boyfriend Gerard, they're super awesome people. So when we do go out, it's with those two, Jenny, PJ, and Gerard, or just Jenny. Jenny's the more extroverted one. So it's easy to go out with her because she ends up doing all the talking, and I can just watch people watch. Yeah. And then I made some friends like Maria, who's a dancer and an artist also. So very hippie vibes, and they're all very hippie, and they do Reiki and meditation too. Uh, but I like being in between where I'm still grounded and not up in the air. So I I like being on my own. I realize how introverted I am and how I really gain energy from being alone and being around people that I don't know or who don't know me completely depletes my energy that when I get home I'm just like dead. And I don't even
Yeah.
drink as much anymore, which is amazing.
Do you feel like it's played a big role, or like
In
in your
socializing.
mental
Oh,
socializing too? I mean, like,
yeah.
did you
No.
uh uh what is that? Did drinking contributed to your like mental health issues, or
Yeah.
do you feel better now not drinking?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because in Manila, after a heavy night of drinking, I'd always wake up in anxiety. Like, even if I
Hmm.
know that it's my day off or something like that, I wake up like I have to do something or I missed something. And then my heart palpitates. Like, it's a whole physical and mental battle with the whole feeling of being hungover. And I hated that feeling. I always hated that feeling. So I'm happy I don't drink as much. I have like one beer on the beach and that's it. I don't go on full crazy mode anymore like before. Yeah, it's nice. It's
Lola,
nice.
Lola
Yeah,
Celestina.
with
No, I.
yes.
Excuse me.
I also have my blanket here, and
Yeah, it's a little colder usually, and today is nice, so I don't feel as cold. But then, yeah, it's just like be freezing
yeah,
here. But yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's alcohol is such a huge like social relaxer, or I don't know how to call it. But yeah,
it does loosen you up.
lube, social
It's
lube.
the social lube, literally.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah, I know. I definitely know what you mean. It's like the older you get, the more you feel like you're dying,
Oh yeah,
hungover.
and then it takes 3 days, 3 days for me to recover. I remember in Manila because I also have bad migraines. I'm a migraine girl, and hangovers contribute to the migraine. So I'm not just having a hangover, I'm also having a migraine. And that completely depletes me and debilitates me that I can't even get up and make my own, like, get my medicine or drink water. So it's horrible. Yeah. So we're old.
Yeah, it's just like such a happy podcast. Like, being old. No,
I
no
know. Wait, are you 30
socializing.
already?
Yeah, that's like
Ah!
30 and a
Oh,
half.
yeah.
Ooh, I remember your 30 birthday party. It was nice. It's just like dinner in some Spanish restaurant, if I
Yeah, that was
remember.
my
Paella.
31st birthday.
Was it? Wait,
Yeah,
what was the 30th?
I spent it in Baguio with Brian, Kimchi,
Oh, right.
and the Chihuahuas.
Right. Chihuahuas. How are they? How are the Chihuahuas?
They're good. They're fluffier than in Manila, which is weird.
Hmm.
I don't know why they got super fluffy. But yeah, here. Let me get one. Because they're so easy to get. Hello.
Rocco.
Look how fluffy he is.
Rocco. Yeah.
And the tail.
Super. Celestina's showing off her dogs.
Oh yeah, because you have this on just voice, right?
No, no, that's a video.
Oh, okay.
I'm planning on uploading it to
Like
Spotify as well.
Spotify.
So yeah, so just for the future listeners.
Yeah, just for the future listeners, I showed my really fluffy chihuahua that is actually Brian's dogs, who is my crazy best friend from Manila that I met in La
Manila.
Union. So yeah, La
That is
Union plays a
now in the
big part.
UK.
Yeah, Mr. Crazy person. Yeah. Ah,
Nice. It's always like the crazy best friend.
I know. Me. Okay.
So okay, a couple more questions if you don't
Yeah,
mind. You
I don't
mind?
mind.
So What are you looking for in a man? That's the question I get asked the most. Like,
Gosh.
what's your ideal man? What is
Gosh.
your gosh?
Oh, well, I do know what I want now is that I want someone who's matured and knows how to respect women. So basically a feminist. Um, what else? What else? Yeah, basically matured, feminist, open minded. Um, yeah, that's basically it, I think.
Financially secure.
Oh, yes, financially secure. Of course. I think that came with the maturity thing because you can't be
Mm.
mature if you're not financially stable, right? Like me. Just kidding.
I'm a
Uh,
very strong and independent woman who's very
yeah.
stable and secure. Uh, yeah. What about any particular appearance features?
I like that they have to be taller than me. I like it when they're taller than me.
Which is easy.
Not exactly here in the Philippines.
My short friend, Celestina.
Ah,
Wait, how tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". Okay,
Yeah.
almost like me.
Yeah, but here in the Philippines, there's not a lot. I mean, I the thing is they have to be taller than 5'6". Anything taller than my ex, like my ex is the a bad example of what a guy is or what kind of
Mhm.
guy I want in my life. He's the main example of that, and I don't want that. So he's 5'6", and
So
that is
anything
also,
taller than 5'6".
yeah, preferably 5'10" and above.
Okay.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Filipino, mestizo, foreigner.
Any at this point, he just has to speak English really well. That's a major factor for me because a lot of my some of my exes from college also didn't speak English really well, um, and it was hard to communicate and be on the same wavelength.
Mm.
Because like sometimes there's humor that we have, like the meme humor, and they don't understand that, and it's like how can you build a relationship if you don't understand memes?
Memes, right? It's yeah,
Memes
it's
are
hard.
life. I love
My
memes.
favorite, yeah, my favorite kind of friends is those I can speak both Russian and English to, and then it's annoying because I'm sure it sounds annoying to Russian speakers mostly because they're she's so fancy. But then
Yeah.
it's like so there are certain words in Russian, there are certain words in English that are not quite easily translated, or yeah, and then like the meme thing, and yeah, I think it's sort of like Taglish, or
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Taglish, Tagalog, English.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of
Taglish.
like that. Yeah, what else? What
What
else?
else?
Humor,
I
sense of
mean,
humor.
yeah, they definitely have to make me laugh. Like if they're funnier than me, then oh my god, I will fall in love with you. Um, Definitely humor.
Intelligence level.
Yeah, I think if you're if you have really good humor, then I think you're a really intelligent person because you have that kind of um, brain power to be able to be really witty.
Or trauma.
Yeah, I'm funny because of trauma.
Yeah. There's always
Uh,
that.
yeah, exactly, exactly. True. So yeah,
This
yeah, definitely has to be intelligent. Because I also can't be with I can't even make friends with people who I have to explain everything to. And it's just like, no, no.
I think it's like it's similar to friends when you're on the same wave or like level that
Yes.
you're just you just get each other. So wait, I have a question. Would you mm, how do I put this question? So, how do you feel about like being really good friends and then starting dating? How
Oh
do you feel
yeah.
about that?
I like that a lot. I think that's a one fantasy of mine where it's like, you build your foundation and your friendship first so that you really become more comfortable and see a side of them that usually you don't see if you're just boyfriend girlfriend. It's there's I noticed that, like, the relationship I had with my ex from Baguio was kind of to that level, but bad because it became a point where people didn't realize we were a couple. So it
Mm,
was became more too friendly than anything. But that comfortable banter and being able to be understand your quirks as just individual people, rather than as a couple. So that's
mm,
why I appreciate if we become friends first and then develop from there, because
mm.
it's different, right? I don't know. You become you end up being in a relationship with them, but not losing yourself in the relationship
Yeah,
because you're developed both separately, independently, as friends. Because friends, when you're friends, you both have your boundaries and you know what you don't want and what you want. So then when you bring that into a relationship, you basically don't form a whole. You're both two whole people in a relationship, which I want in the future. Yeah.
I think it's also when you're friends first, you don't uh try to show your best side and hide the
Yeah.
worst. You're just, like friends, and then you're comfortable around each other, and then you're like, oh, we're, I guess, like it's fit well together.
Yeah.
No one is like,
Yeah.
because yeah, when you start with like being madly in love, it gets in the way of getting to know each other really,
Yeah.
as in like not
The ugly
having your
sides.
hope yeah, not having your hopes up and you're like, oh my god, he's perfect, he's like my
Yeah.
ideal man. And I'm gonna be honest, it was I think a hard concept for me to grasp, as in like, how can you start dating your friend, you're like friends? Because for me, I've had like male friends in the past, and they always remained friends. For to me, I could never imagine sleeping with them, for example, because I guess I was like more attracted to like different type of
Hmm.
guys, which was weird because that's like, family background for you. Because
Yeah.
deep down, what's the word? What's the past tense for strive? Strove? Strive?
Past tense, you strived
Yeah.
for?
So
Strive.
like for like I always had friendships with really good guys,
Yeah.
like super chill, who got me. We were in the same level. They were super caring, as in like in our friendship. And then my dating life was completely opposite. I would usually play the mom role. I was like super responsible and uh, basically what I saw growing up in my family. My
Yeah.
mom was taking care of the stepdad, and that's how I became. It was like kind of on a taking a higher position and trying to take care of the person and try to change them and like that kind of stuff. Dating the what's the word?
Dating your dad.
No, no, no. No, no. Uh,
Daddy issues.
date. Well, that certainly. I was trying to say
I
a
have that.
potential.
Yeah.
So, like, always seeing the potential and not dating the actual person, always hoping that they will change and they will become
Oh
better,
yeah.
and that's just not fair
To you.
towards and to me and to the partner. It's like
Yeah.
uh, a person is perfectly perfect as they are, and I was just like trying to shape them into something else, and that wasn't fair to them or me. And I was
Yeah.
just like so many expectations, and none of it was healthy.
Yeah, I
So
know. My goodness. All the,
that
yeah,
was
looking back, hindsight, you realize, it's pretty unhealthy.
lessons and lessons and lessons. Yeah,
When
so
will we
for me
ever
now,
learn?
yeah, now for me, I'm trying to like switch the perspective from being friends first and then lovers and partners, because it's actually like you get to know the person better, other than you just, oh my God, I love him so much. And he's like this
Perfect.
perfect, ideal man. It's just like wearing your heart shaped pink glasses and not seeing the reality. But yeah,
Exactly.
that's different. Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you seen any potential friends first?
Huh.
Because you
Trick
travel a
question.
lot, so you get to meet other people. I,
Who told you
I'm
that?
in my room.
I travel and I'm in my room. Uh, no, seriously. When I was in Bali, I've made like two friends
Oh,
only, and I've spent there what like almost a year. And yeah, it was basically I'd go to yoga. I wouldn't say like I met many people. Like I met a really cool teacher that we like sometimes talk, and she taught me sound healing.
the one
And
in your
yeah,
podcast also.
yeah.
Yeah.
She Lola, she's cool. So yeah, and then like there's another one, tattoo artist, that I had my tattoo with. Oh, speaking of, you have lots of beautiful tattoos. What was your first tattoo, and how old were you?
Oh, my first. What was my first? I think my first was the baybayin, which is the um, what's the word? Original alphabet of the Filipinos or indigenous
Ooh,
Filipinos.
that's so
Um,
interesting. Brad was
yeah.
telling me the same story. He
What?
had he had a tattoo that he intended to be in this language, but it turned out like wrong or something.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Go on. Sorry.
because the alphabet is based on, you know how in English it's A-E-I-O-U. It's the same but A, E, I, O, U. So and then there's like combinations. So there's ka or lu, wa, and then you put these characters together and it forms the indigenous word. And mine, I got it 2.5 or 3 years after my mom died, but I got it for in memory of her. Because back then, tattoos had to mean something to me. Now, as I'm older and I don't really give a fuck anymore, I do what I want. So even if my brain, I tell my brain to shut up and then I do what I want. Um,
Nice.
and yeah, so it means it's kaluluwa. So there's four characters, kaluluwa. Um, it looks like it says itu,
Mm,
ITTU, because that's what the characters look like.
mm.
Um, but it means soul because I read, I think, in the Tibetan book of the dead. Um, yeah, I read it after she died. It part of the book said that when a loved one passes away, a part of their soul stays with you, like it gets intertwined or woven into your soul because of that relationship that you guys had. So I got that tattoo for her basically, and then after that I got other shitty tattoos that didn't turn out well because back then tattoo artists were not good. And they couldn't do the really thin line tattoos. They didn't have that skill yet. It wasn't a thing yet. This was 2009, 2010, something like that. So, and so I had a lot of, I thought, three cover ups. Two, three. Yeah, three cover ups. But then after that, I had my dragon, which is a design made by my boob brother, a guy I shared his mother's boob with,
Nice.
because I'm adopted. So my own mom didn't have milk, but her friend who had a baby who's the same age as me had milk. So I breastfed with her, with her son. So we kind of took
Nice.
turns. Yeah, it was cool. It was
Milk
cool.
bros.
Milk
sis.
bros. That's nice. Yeah, instead of
nice.
boob bro. Because I keep
bro.
calling him boob bro. He designed the dragon for me. And I got a dragon because I'm Year of the Dragon, 1988. And I identify with the dragon a lot, where I'm fierce and independent. How dragons are usually loners and they fly through the sky and spread fire and yeah. So that's me. Destruction. But not anymore. I just do destruction in my own home. And then what other tattoos do I have? I think I have 14 tattoos, but I get them every year. And recently, since 2019, I'd get tattoos for my birthday every year. So
what are you getting?
I'm hoping to get several, because I don't just get one. Because the last 2019, I got 3 tattoos, 2 from Pia and then 1 from Kat, which is this one, this beautiful one. It's a bougainvillea.
Didn't you get butanding?
Oh yeah, that was last year.
Or not a whale shark.
2020.
Ah.
The whale, not butanding. Blue whale, the biggest.
Oh, blue whale. Okay.
The biggest one on Earth, because they're so amazing. I mean, can you imagine? Like, that's one of my goals, is to see it in
become
person.
A whale. Next life.
Essentially, I mean, I already have the tail, right? And I can already swim like.
Yeah, mermaid. That mermaid.
The mermaid. Yeah, I want to see one in person and be there, because it just fascinates me how large they are. Be like, hello, nice to meet you. Can I shake your fin? Yeah, they're fascinating. They're huge. It's fascinating, because I've always been fascinated with like dinosaurs and how large they were, and these are existing, basically old species in this earth where they survived hundreds of years. So yeah, it's mind-blowing. Then I have a mermaid, and then I have a dolphin.
That dolphin.
It's abstract.
Can you do the dolphin sound?
No, I can't.
I was just wondering, maybe you can.
Can you?
Can. No.
Some people can, and it's amazing. Yeah. I can't do it.
Yeah. No, it's just gonna sound.
It just sounds like we're dying. It's like,
wait, hold on. Okay? Let me channel my inner dolphin.
Oh my god.
Listeners.
ASMR. I can't even.
So you're trying to throw up?
It's so gross. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? I have a lot of others, but there's a. So yeah, I'm.
Sunflower.
It's a sunflower and a pizza that I got with Angie
Oh yay!
right after
What
eating
did I get?
pizza.
What did I? Oh, that was now the one that I got.
Yeah.
That was like super random. Now.
Yeah. And yeah, that was after eating the best pizza in Metro Manila. And yeah, this year I want to get several. I want to get a jellyfish. I want to get a fern. Um, oh, and a tree of life. Oh, like this.
Mm. Uh-huh. Yeah, I have a pendant with the tree of life.
Yeah, yeah, I want to get that. So yeah, I want several, but we'll see. I might have to get it like after my birthday, actual birthday. Um, but I'm excited because I haven't had a tattoo in a year.
Here.
I love
I had
tattoos
one
so
in
much.
what, July, I think. Yeah. I'm just like I don't have an itch for now, but I have like a couple of ideas that I would like to
Yeah.
get.
Where on your body?
Uh, they're all gonna be on my arms because I don't plan on. I just want to finish like full sleeves, and then I think I'm gonna be done. Or we'll see. Maybe I will run out of space to get
Yeah.
tattoos on, and yeah, I just like I have plenty of space here,
There's so much
so like this
space.
one's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So
That's a lot of space. That's
yeah.
what I get asked a lot is because looks like I have a lot of tattoos for other people, but
Hmm.
then to me, I think it's not enough yet. Like I also want to add so much more. Like there's so much space
Yeah.
here, here, yeah,
Yeah.
even this. And then everyone's like, where are you gonna put it? You have no more space.
No, it's just
Yeah,
like, yeah, I forget I have tattoos, and then sometimes I'm
me
like,
too.
oh right.
Me too. I always forget. And then sometimes when I'm doing video calls like this, um, I see it and I'm like, ooh, oh. And it's
Beautiful.
weird because when I was younger, I'd always get it on my back or
Hmm.
hidden away because I always thought I'd get tired of it or like
Hmm.
I'd want to change it. But I love looking at my tattoos. Right.
Yeah, me
Right.
too. Sometimes you're like, you forget about them, and then you rediscover them. You're like, oh, so beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and especially if you're putting lotion on after showering and it's like, ooh, so vibrant. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think. Okay, one more question, last one. What do you
Okay.
think your strongest point is?
My strongest point?
Yeah,
I-
your strongest
Character?
feature about you.
Feature?
Yeah.
Like personality or
Yeah, I was like, I don't know how to put it in
or
words. I
just
thought
in
it made
general,
sense. Like,
life, in life. My
yeah, in
strongest
life,
point in life.
personality.
Okay.
Yeah. So, for
I
example,
think
the weakest point will be ADHD, and then the
oh
strongest.
yeah. This okay, I know what my strongest point is basically my ability to adapt to any situation. I realized I'm really good at that. Being able to uproot myself and go wherever I want. Like I realized I can do that. I can once you're able to do that and you're just completely independent and just reliant on yourself, you can do anything you want. And
Mhm.
that's what I love. Just doing my own thing. I hate it when people are like, "So, what are you going to do next?" Or "What's your future plans?" And it's like, I'm here right now. I'm
I don't
happy,
know.
right?
Yeah, go with the
Like
flow.
yeah, I'm living in the now and I'm happy with how where I'm at. So it doesn't really matter what I want, like where I'm going to be in the future, because it doesn't really matter to me as long as
So
I'm
sort of
like
like,
secure right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
sort of like resilience, right?
Yes. That's a good, yes, exactly. Resilience, strength in resilience and adaptability. I'm like a chameleon. No, not. No, not a chameleon. Something else.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know.
A mermaid.
A mermaid. But yeah, awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
and we'll end on this strong note, strong, independent, resilient women with tattoos.
With tattoos. Tattoos.
Feel,
Tattoos and tan lines.
yeah, 10 lines. Okay, thank you so much, Celestina. Do you want to promote anything? Your Instagram, your
Um,
products?
yeah, you can follow me on Coffee Colored Casa. That's my public Instagram. Um, I call it my shitstagram for all of my accounts. I call them my shitstagram because I try not I try not to put pressure on myself with all of that. Um, so I just have fun with it. That's my philosophy in life. Enjoy it. um, yeah. What else? If you are gonna go to Baguio, I would appreciate if you support local and my cafe called Cafe by the Ruins in front of the city hall. The pandemic hit all the local restaurants really bad, so your support is very much appreciated. Buy food.
Eat food, buy food. Very delicious, must try.
Yummy,
Much
yummy.
wow. Yummy. Eat at our restaurant. Yummy, yummy.
Come now and eat.
Yummy, yummy.
Come inside.
Ooh, kinky. All right. Thank you so much, Celestina, for joining another episode of Naked with Angie. Thank you for
I
getting
love
naked with
it.
me.
You're
Thank
welcome
you
and thank
guys. Thank you guys for listening and watching. And please comment what you think about this episode. If you have any questions to me or Celestina, feel free to leave them in the comments below.
and
Please
subscribe.
subscribe. Yeah.
I love
Subscribe.
it.
Please. It helps a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Namaste.
Morishka Hargate.
What the hell is that?